Welcome to episode 118 of the Postmodern Polymath podcast. I am your host, the Masked Man. Lyman is probably dead. I don't know. Uh, he went to some clinic where they had tents and shit. So, and it was like some shit out of E.T. If you remember, they had everything closed up and they were quarantined and biohazard suits and shit. So hopefully, I think Lyman's okay. He had a bit of a thing going on for a while, but I think he's okay. He's still alive, so that's always a good thing. And I and many of you are locked down in quarantine. Um, right now, I am sitting in the bunker with the two cats, three laptops, and a big ass TV that my cat keeps trying to knock down. So I'm working from home except for one day a week, which is good. The work place generally did. I didn't think had the capacity to do work at home stuff because we work with paper mostly, but apparently they were to work it out, kind of do a workaround. So I've been working at home all week and all last week. So it's interesting. I actually enjoy. I like sitting around naked and being able to work. It's always a plus. I'm sure that's something all most of y'all wanted to hear about, is being naked while I'm working at home. What else? So I don't shower much anymore like I did in the first place. There's nothing really changed. I've been watched Lord of the Rings, Travesty, just for shits and giggles because I'd never actually watched the whole thing when it came out because I was just so the Peter Jackson debacle of those movies is just embarrassing. But I put it aside and watched them this time and actually was able to get through them with a minimum of disgust. Um, I did start watching the Hobbit trilogy last night and just it's a mess. The Hobbit is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a kids thing. They're trying to make it into some Lord of the Rings prequel thing where there's killing and shit, and that's not what happens. There's not all that killing, and I don't know what the fuck the White Council is not in the Hobbit in the book. They just threw the White Council in there. No fucking reason. Uh, Bilbo and Frodo are talking. They're not supposed to be talking until late. I don't know. It's all kinds of shit. Peter Jackson's trying to shoehorn all this shit from the Lord of the Rings and the history around the Lord into that movie. That does not belong in the movie, in the Hobbit movie. And there's two other movies that come after this: Desolation of Smog and the Battle of the Five Armies. He really trying to make that money, y'all, off the Hobbit. The Hobbit doesn't need three movies. The Hobbit only needs one movie, maybe two, maybe a miniseries if you're lucky. But it's the spirit of the movies does not is not supposed to be like that. But whatever, he's trying to make that money, y'all. So I am interested to see. I heard the dragon looked kind of neat. Smog looks kind of neat, and the Battle of the Five Armies. That's one thing Peter Jackson's good at is the battles. I'll have to give him that. So we'll see. Um, It's me again. Once again, I have Facebook problems because I'm an idiot. Um, I'm not sure how much of that anybody actually heard. Anyway, Westworld, go check out Westworld. Cerebral, but well worth it. Well, not robots, androids, I guess you could say, are trying to take down the world with there's an all-knowing machine that knows everybody, what they're doing, what they're made of, everything. So go check that out. What else? I think that's about it. I don't know if y'all caught any of the Thor Ragnarok, the Ant Man the Wasp, the Ant Man prequel. Anyway, some good movies. But anyway, one of the main things I wanted to get into tonight was Bernie Sanders has dropped out, which we all knew was coming. But not only that, he endorsed Joe Biden like, anybody was surprised by that, outcome. Now, here's what I'm going to say. So, and Warren did too, actually. So, that's not a surprise. But now okay, there are Bernie bros. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can call them bros because they're not all bros. It turns out they're also other genders or whatever. But the Bernie batshits, I guess I'll call them now, and they're losing their shit about it, of course. And they won't vote for Biden. I guess they'd rather see the world burn, which is what it boils down to, really. So here's one of the things I posted today because it's my show and my opinion is important. If you think that first of all, Biden is the same as Trump, you're objectively an idiot, and that's just objectively. Like I have I have the stats to prove it. Okay, yes, Biden is a centrist. He was he's barely articulate. He's not very good. He's got some problematic stances. He was against busing in Massachusetts, in Boston, just back in the day. There's all kinds of stuff that he's problematic. It's got some issues with, right? But like I said to somebody else, I'm like, look, or I commented on another post. Look, do you think that this shit starts from the top down? No, it comes from the bottom up. You have to build this shit up, a progressive movement. And that progressive movement was already there and was starting up. AOC and people like her were already getting some play on that end, right? But for some reason, people think that Bernie was somehow going to fucking just, I don't know, magically make everything fine or work out. But you know that as soon as he made a compromise, they'd fucking be down his throats and they'd all fucking want everything to burn down at the ground. Look, y'all, this is politics. I don't know what country you think this is. I don't know where you think you are in the world. I don't know what the fuck you think you're going to do. Okay. Bernie can only do so much and could have only done so much with a Congress that is only one half Democrat. Their Senate is Republican. You're not going to get shit done. That's just a fact. You still got Mitch McConnell. Did y'all forget about the turtle? That motherfucker ain't letting shit get passed. What do you think is going to happen? He's just going to magically let Bernie get away with shit? No. And as soon as, like I said, as soon as he lets some shit go, as compromised, and they would all lost their fucking minds. To me, Bernie losing is probably the best thing that could have happened because it's this whole Messiah complex. People it was kind of creepy the way they were obsessed with him, to be honest with you. People get so obsessed with candidates, and of course, humans apparently have a Messiah complex and like to fixate on one person to save the world, kind of like Jesus, for example, or I don't know, any cult of personality, Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, of course I'm naming everybody's favorite arguments they always use, these anti-socialist types use again, atheist or whatever. But we always want somebody to rescue us, apparently our species does, when really that's not how it works. One person rarely is able to save, I don't think anybody's ever, in the history of ever, been able to save everything with, with one handedly. There's always got to be some sort of system behind them. There's got to be, adherence. There's got to be people who get the shit done. There's got to be bureaucrats. Y'all can die mad about that because I don't know what y'all think was going to happen, right? So what needs to happen? Here's what needs to happen, in my view, is they need to start, like I said, you need to get progressives elected all the way up, right? That's where the hard work is. That's where you grind it down. That's where the grind is. You got to come all the way up to Bernie, and then Bernie. Some people like Bernie can get shit done if they actually have people in the Senate and in congressional districts to do shit, right? Otherwise, what are you gonna do? Um, I don't know. You're just gonna sit there and bitch and moan about it because it's easier to sit there and bitch and moan about, um, not voting. I'm not going to vote for Shirley Show. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, well, then you're a fucking useless sack of shit. You're not going to go on the streets and start revolution with your Molotov cocktails and your black bloc. You're not going to do shit. Calm the fuck down, all right? You're not going to do anything. What do you think you're going to do? And this is something, my cat's trying to get in the way. And here's something that I posted recently. I want to go and actually do and it probably is this cat's fucking insane. Sitting on a plastic bag. I don't know what you're doing. Anyway, I'm sure somewhere there is, or there are studies of revolutions. How have they, if they have succeeded, how they did succeed, and how they go, and what are the outcomes, and if they actually get shit done that, people want done, like the people who start the revolution, right? So, what do y'all think would happen if Bernie won, right? If somehow magically Bernie won the election, okay, what would happen when he didn't get his way? What do you think the leftists would have done? They probably throw a fit about it, right? But they weren't gonna do nothing. Real revolutions are not something you want to get behind. It's not a clean business. People get killed, people die. People fucking, you know, dictatorships. I mean, what do you think? You just fucking violence, if you get violence involved, you think it just magically disappears as soon as you get what you want, if you get what you want? And anyway, you gotta fucking destroy the entire power structure and start all over again. What do you think you're gonna do? Are you gonna do that? You? Maybe a couple people I know will try to do that, but they could try. They wouldn't succeed, right? I mean, let's be real. You're not going to succeed at a revolution and somehow get this fucking utopia that you're hoping for. Like this, I mean, I know there's anarchists and different flavors of anarcho-syndicalism, anarcho-communism, whatever. That kind of the idea of not a social, kind of either no central government or a very small minarchist government style of thing. And it's basically libertarian but on the left, sort of, I guess. This idea of free association, I guess, of people doing the right thing for the self-interest. I don't know. I've never bought all that. I just don't think it's in human nature. I get made fun of because I don't think it is by some people, Kevin. But I'm sorry. I just don't think it's going to happen. People, I mean, the closest thing I see in our current society, our current world, our political system is Scandinavia. It's probably the best that I would get behind. And of course, it's still really, it's capitalist based, but it's like really socialist, really like on the far left end of it. So while y'all sitting there acting like y'all gonna do some shit, where is it that you see that these incredible revolutions work, right? I mean, people always talk about this revolution we're gonna start in this country. For one thing, this isn't one fucking country. First thing. It's actually probably at least 4, and if not more. This country's too fucking big. It needs to be split. The states have already started going with these compacts as far as the fucking COVID. Corona. I'm just going with Corona. They're already compacts. I think Washington, California, and Oregon are talking about forming a compact of their own to regulate how the COVID 19 shit, COVID 19, whatever, the Rona is going to be handled in their area. Northeast, there's a little compact of northeastern New England states where they're going to, do their own thing because Trump is so fucking pathetically incompetent that he's not getting anything done. Now, of course, they're on the coasts, right? Because generally the coasts are the more rational, intelligent people. Well, then you got fucking the South, which is still, I don't know if they're ever going to come out of the fucking 100 years. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to burn to the ground before that happens. They don't give a fuck. They're going to run around, do whatever the fuck they want. Hell, fucking, was it Georgia or Florida? How can't they all run together? WWE is it's been deemed, I think it's Georgia, has been deemed an essential business. The fucking the World Wildlife Entertainment, where the fuck it is, right? Oh, and Vince McMahon is now an advisor to Trump. Who, can we get the timeline back? Whatever scientist, does somebody is holding our timeline hostage and we're got to pay him money and sacrifice a child or two? I mean, for the greatest of mankind, I'd sacrifice. Y'all are welcome. Okay, you're welcome. If to sacrifice myself to get our timeline back to at least some semblance of normalcy, that's what needs to happen, then I'll gladly sacrifice myself. There are other people that probably would need to sacrifice themselves, but should sacrifice themselves. But I would do it myself because I'm like, Christ is in my name, so I guess I might as well do it. So I don't know, man. This country's falling apart. Of course, it's been falling apart. It's always been a garbage country. Let's calm down a little bit. We've always been a piece of shit country. But, what are you going to, I mean, it's going to be our downfall. The only thing that's going to save us, and despite what Trump thinks, it's a federal system. It's not him dictating. It's not a dictatorship despite what he thinks. And I'd like to see him go try to do this shit. He said, we're going to reopen the country. That's my call. Well, go try to tell that to fucking some of these governors, especially California. Go try that with California. See how they like one of the biggest economies by itself. Go try to tell California that and see how they react. I'm sure it won't go too well. That's what I'm thinking. So, I mean, y'all need to get your shit together. Trump is he's not even a madman. He's just, I guess is he clinically insane? Does it really matter? He is crazy. He has got issues. His narcissism knows no bounds. It's just, I don't know it's like his bubble is just so big. I guess there are people like rock stars and people like that who exists in these bubbles, right? People that are surrounded by yes men telling them they're the greatest and they're the best or whatever. And apparently he's got a whole bubble of those people that are telling him that, but I don't know. Has he always had these people surrounding him? I don't know. It's just madness. It's just madness. So what are we going to do vote him out. This comes back to Biden, right? So y'all going to sit there and complain about Biden. Okay. Biden is garbage. Let's not, there's no bones about it, right? Even aside from the sexual assault charge, which I don't know enough about it. I've kind of heard. Of course, my stance on that. Believe women, but also believe. I don't know. I mean, stories have changed over the years. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, there's plenty of stuff wrong with him, like I said already. But if you just think this through for a minute. All right. So you got either you don't vote, you vote third party, which what third parties are even left? You vote for Biden or you vote for Trump. Now, there are those who wouldn't vote anyway, I don't think. And apparently that includes a lot of y'all millennials or somebody because they didn't come out to vote for Bernie, even though everybody was saying, well, the millennials will come out for Bernie. Well, they fucking didn't in the primary, so obviously that's bullshit. I mean, you vote for a third party, you might as well just piss on the vote. Just get a ballot and piss all over it because I mean, what's the point? You vote for Biden, and yeah, you're going to vote for somebody who is problematic as fuck, but does have party loyalty. You know, I mean, that's the one thing they do have. Well, most of the time, progressive kind of bitch and moan, but they still mostly get along. They do fight for certain things, but at least then you're going to have at least somebody trying to press progressive. And I know some people are like, yeah, bullshit. But I mean, if we keep getting progressive members in the House, they're going to press enough that I think maybe they'll turn them. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. AOC and her type. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. I doubt it, though. But, you know, however, the other options vote for Trump. Now, I don't know. I really, it really, the mindset it takes to worship this guy the way some people do is just mind boggling to me. I mean, it's scary, really. I mean, it's just this cult. I mean, no matter what he does, what he says, what anybody else says, they just believe it. They don't believe any outside information. They say it's fake news, right? Nobody can tell them otherwise, and that is the one of the aspects, many aspects of a cult. It's cult-like behavior, and your leader can never do wrong, right? And so these people are in the cult, and these are the people, these policies that he espouses will literally hurt the worst. I mean, all these tax breaks from, and of course, Republican bullshit's been going on since Reagan. You know, the fucking, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, it's hard to do. It's just so hard. It's so difficult to fucking wrap my head around it. Really. I mean, you ain't got to be fucking super intelligent to realize that people that he's treating people like garbage. He says the most fucked up shit. He does. I mean, who fucking he wants to sign the checks, the relief checks. I mean, he wants to sign these relief checks with his own fucking signature because that's how big of a narcissist this guy is, right? I mean, it's just mind boggling to me. And I don't understand how people can fucking do this. I don't. I don't know. It's just. I don't know. Anyway, so again, voting for Trump, I don't get. And especially, there are people who are voting for Trump just to what? Apparently get back at Democrats for not being progressive enough. Well, that's what you get. You should have voted for fucking Bernie, but now, see, this is what you get. Oh, that's great. That's a great privileged position. What about the minorities? What about the women? What about anybody else that might be hurt by a Trump administration? You just don't give a fuck about those people, I guess. You're so you're so worried about showing, you know, how right your fucking righteous position that you're willing to hurt other people. That's great. And of course, the Supreme Court. Do you think fucking uh, RBG is gonna fucking live forever? I don't even want to tell you how old she is. I don't even know how old she is, but she's old as fuck. I know that much. So what do you think's going to happen? If one of them, Breyer or one of the, I mean, they're going to have fucking conservative majority for fucking eternity. And what do you think they're going to do the entire time? They're going to fucking strike down every fucking, any semblance. Now, John Roberts is at least seemingly not as bad, I guess. I don't know. But it's still going to be a right court. And you're still going to get a lot of shit overturned that's going to benefit corporations. It's going to benefit the rich and powerful. It's going to be more in line with libertarian bullshit. It's just going to be. Was that where you want to live? I mean, and we know this country is actually further left than has been demonstrated in these elections, mostly because the electoral college is garbage. I don't know why the fuck that's still a thing. And the population is mostly urban for the, I mean, but these fucking conservative rural fucksticks have a fucking disproportionate representation as far as I'm concerned. So basically, while they sit there and vote against their self-interest, they're going to bring everybody else down with them. So at some point, I wonder if it wouldn't be better just to fucking split this country into 4 or 5. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know. It's a big fucking mess. So, on the bright side of things, get to watch some movies, like I said, some shows. What have y'all been doing? I know some people have been catching up on the reading, so that's good. I mean, I personally, only thing I'm reading right now is A Fall of Gondolin, which it's a Tolkien story, which his son, there's like 14 different versions. So this book is like basically the same version, 5 different times or whatever. I don't that's the only thing I'm reading right now, and the shows I'm watching, cats I'm betting. Oh, my car went out, so my clutch gave way. That was nice and expensive, so it's sitting there in the shop right now. I have to go. God only they have to order parts. Cars, I bought it new 7 years ago, and this is the first major thing that's had to be repaired. However, that was expensive. It was an expensive part, and it's a Nissan, so of course those parts are more expensive than other parts. Those cars are so goddamn tiny, it's fucking impossible to get anything. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's either that or getting another car, and it's still cheaper than getting another car, I guess. Um, so I think this is going to be a shorter show because I just don't have it in me to do a whole hour. Lyman here is not here to kind of bounce off of, and I don't think y'all want to hear me talking for a solid hour. I don't blame you. So if y'all have any questions, comments, go fuck yourself, whatever. Of course, you can email or call the show, which I've forgotten. 615-376 378-7676 Popo. The show emails postmodern.playmass@gmail.com. You can go get some money if you want. Go to Patreon, whatever. I had thought about doing a like a modest needs sort of thing where you give money and shit and you help people out and you give them small loans or whatever. I mean, I know that's a thing already, but I wanted to do it for myself and for some, my friend people I know because there are bigger organizations that are doing this, but would be for my own like little circle or whatever. And I know there are people out there that are less fortunate than myself, and I wanted to try to help those people. I wanted to give up people an opportunity to help them too. So anyway, so if you're interested in something like that, hit me up, and I think I'll set up a PayPal account. Unless somebody else has some advice they'd like to share with me on how to do this sort of thing, I just don't want to have to pay exorbitant fees to try to move this money around if I have to. Patreon takes a cut. I know. PayPal, you can have a free account, but if you send the money in another way other than PayPal, they charge you or whatever. I I'm not sure how that works. I'd have to look into it. Um, but yeah, if you're interested in doing that, hit me up. Or if you know anything about it more than I do, hit me up. I'm also thinking about doing sort of I do a lot of you know that I do the atheist at the pub thing once a month, which obviously I haven't been able to do the last couple of months. One month, my arm fucking it didn't decide to. A cat tripped me up with a painting, or not a cat, to be fair. The cat litter on the slick floor while I was carrying a framed photo, whatever. You know the story. Broke my arm, and I was out for that, um, and then we went and locked down. So, but I'm thinking about doing sort of um, a live atheist at the pub or a virtual atheist at the pub. I got somebody because Zoom you can do as much as you want, many people as you want, but if you don't have an account, it's limited to 40 minutes. I have a couple people who said they'll let me use their account, and so I've decided to try that. I haven't set a date yet or anything. I need to get back to my main account, which I accidentally posted a nude picture and I get a month. I blocked from Facebook. I don't know. Is it really a month? Really? Is that necessary? Um. Anyway, that just seems exorbitant to me. But if yeah, I'll set that up again. If you are interested in participating, of course, as usual, I would put a month ahead. Well, not a month. Maybe a month ahead of time. I would put up that I was doing it. This thing. It doesn't actually have to be just people who generally. Since it is virtual, doesn't mean you actually have to be here to do it. Well, that's kind of what virtual means. Anybody can join it. So it'd be like virtual atheist at the virtual pub. Something I'd have to think of a clever name, and I'm a clever guy, so I think I can do that. So I'm going to be trying to hit that up. So the money thing I'm thinking about doing to help people out, atheist at the pub, virtual atheist at the pub. And I don't think there's anything else right now that I can think of. Everybody, y'all need to stay safe. There are people out there who are acting crazy and doing crazy shit and don't give a fuck. Don't come to the South if you think you're going to get. The South don't give a fuck. They'll wander around fucking. I mean, they're making little tiny things. They're like, oh, keep 6 feet apart. Grocery store. But there's still people everywhere driving every goddamn where doing shit they want to do. I mean, they don't care. If you can stay, I mean, of course, in the end, the personal responsibility. But of course, there's such a thing. I mean, it spreads, you know, in more than one place, right? It takes more than one person to fucking spread this shit. So there's only so much you can do. If people are out there fucking spreading this shit everywhere, I mean, what are you supposed to fucking do? You can't. And the masks really, like this mask is only good from what I've heard from getting other people sick. In order to keep yourself from getting sick, apparently, you're supposed to get filtered. Like there's little folds here. You're supposed to like put little filters in here. There's a friend of mine that's a nurse. Or a couple of friends I have that are nurses, actually. And you put little filters in here if you want to try to keep people from getting yourself sick or whatever. Lessen your trips to the grocery store if you can. There's Instacart. Those delivery services, I guess. I mean, as long tip well if you get stuff like that. Not just Instacart, but try to if you're going to get shit, like food and stuff. Try to do local stuff because they're hurting. These local businesses are really hurting because they're losing a lot of their customer base because they can't come in there. So, and that's everywhere. Like, food. Some places do beer with the food. If you order food, you can get beer too. Some liquor stores do it, but you have to buy an exorbitant amount, and you have to be in their delivery area, which is fairly limited. But try to stay local. Try to do things that'll keep you out of contact with people as much as possible. Go on your little walks. That's fine, but try to, stay isolated and try not to go too far outside your area. I know for some people it's difficult who like the outside. I don't know who those people are. I, for one, love to stay inside and keep the curtains drawn because I'm a vampire. Some people out here actually like the sun. I don't know who these people are. Strange to me. So I mean, you do you, I guess. But if you need the sunlight, and walk around within a small area. I mean, I know it's whatever. It sucks, right? And there's also people, and for the one time, we have to people who like people, which I'm also not. We for once the introverts have to support the extroverts, and I've heard introverts volunteering to help counsel people who are extroverts on how to deal with stuff, and if they need to talk to somebody, they'll talk to them because I mean they're not used to staying in and not having any human contact. And there are people who actually need human contact. It's really fucking depressing to them because they don't get to actually, especially if they're stuck by themselves. I mean, if you're not married or if you have a boyfriend and girlfriend somehow, you got separated when this started and you can't really get together. I mean, it's fucking, that's horrible. I mean, I can't even imagine that. And then there are people I heard that they're stuck together and they're fucking divorced or they're in an abusive relationship or some shit like that. That shit's fucked and that is dangerous. Okay. I don't have to tell y'all how a situation can like that can turn very violent or even deadly. So I'm rambling a bit here, but try to stay safe. Um, order local. Try to get your spirits up. Read a good book. Watch some movies. There's tons of shit out there you can watch now. Watch some porn. Video chat. You can video chat with people. If you need that sort of thing. Video chat me. I don't know why the fuck you'd want to talk to me, but you can come video chat with me. I can talk about beer and cats and beards, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, I think. Thank y'all for listening. Stay safe out there, and I love y'all. And, of course, as always, and I can't remember how. There we go. And until next time, y'all take it easy now, okay?